Hi, welcome to Positively Sparking, a podcast on internet marketing, online productivity, and business. Today, I'm with Joel Harrison, expert VA and client manager at Positive Sparks, and we're going to chat through our favourite apps for the month of May. Hey Joel, how are you today?
Hi Phil, I'm good, thanks, and you?
Pretty good. It's been an exciting week. But first thing I want to say is big credit to you this week. You have done a lot, learnt a lot, made a lot of good things happen in the world of pay-per-click.
Yes. An interesting week.
It certainly has. I bet you're ready for the weekend.
I am ready for the weekend and my bed.
I'm sure. So Joel, you've also got your first webinar that you are going to lead and show us all something great to do coming up in early June. So tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, on the 1st of June, the first Thursday of the month, and it's going to be about one of the apps that we've actually discussed on here called If This Then That, IFT for short. And I'm going to hopefully, if I don't fluff it all up,
you won't.
I'm going to show people how to use it and how to set up some applets to make yourself more productive and save time, etc. So hopefully, that will be a good thing to do.
It's going to be great. I know you use this every day, and I've no idea how. But you mention it so much. I just need to come along and watch this.
Yeah, well, I've got applets running in the background, so I tend to forget about it, and then I suddenly think, I'm going to go see if I can make an applet for that to save me some time, and so I spend ages looking at how I can do it, and then I think, this is a really good idea, and I could just sit at my desk and do nothing, and all these applets running in the background.
That's what I'm hoping to learn too. Great stuff. So how do people register for the webinar?
They will need to join my Facebook group, and if you just search on Facebook for online productivity tools and applications, and it should pop up. And if you join the group, then there is an event in there that you can register on. Excellent.
Good stuff. So let's go straight into it. Speaking of apps, and you being the queen of apps doing your first webinar, what's your first app of the month?
Well, I was going to do the other app first, but I'm going to do this one now, as we've just discussed automation. Because I found somebody in my Facebook group mentioned this app, Emma James, and I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, I need this. So it's called Hazel, and it's basically automated organization for your Mac. And I've downloaded the free trial, and I've only got a few days left, so I'm going to have to buy it shortly. But I've been having to play around with it, and basically, your filing system on your Mac, so where you save your files, downloads go, etc., it automatically files things for you, depending on the rules you set. So very similar to your email, if you set up rules in your email for certain emails to go into different folders, to flag things, that sort of thing, you can set up rules like this in Hazel, and automatically in the background, it does it for you.
That sounds amazing. Does it work every time?
Yeah. I only set up a few rules. Some of the things that, because I have a lot of, sometimes, so for example, when I'm doing invoicing for my business, my invoices when I download them, they go into my downloads folder, and they're all called the same at the start. So what I've done is I've set a rule to say when I download these invoices for them to be moved to my clients folder, rather than just sit in my downloads folder where I can't find them again.
I see. Interesting.
And what are the other ones I've got set up? I've got for pictures. So again, for when I download pictures, or when I'm doing blog posts, for example, instead of them going in my downloads folder, they get moved to my pictures folder. So there's so many ways, there's so many rules. I've not been able to test it completely before our podcast. I've only had it for 2 weeks, but it can be amazing. And I think Emma mentioned something about it can be set up with your email as well. I think you can open emails or do something with emails as well. So,
Wow.
yeah, I'm just excited to find all these rules that I can set up. And then again, not do anything. I can sit at my desk and everything can be done for me.
Well, I was just going to say, knowing you a bit, I can see two ways that this excites you. Number one, sitting at your desk doing nothing. Big thing for you. But maybe more so, you are very organised. You like things to be neat. In discipline, perhaps, is a word that I'll use to describe you. And so this gives all of those things to you.
Yeah. I mean, it's been on my to-do list since January because my year, my 2017, is all about productivity, and it's been on my to-do list to sort my filing, my computer files out because they're in a bit of a mess. My business stuff is fine. I've got that organised, like my clients, invoicing, all that sort of thing is organised, but it's all my other stuff that I've got on my computer from previous laptops and things like that I've just moved over. And it's just dumped somewhere, and I've got folders set up and I don't know where anything is. So I'm hoping that this app will help me organise that.
Definitely let us know what happens in a month's time.
I will. I'm there. I just need. I need to sit down and work out these rules. There are some complicated rules. I mean, it bases it. You can base the rules on name, date, type, what site the document came from. There's so many options.
It sounds it.
It might be a little bit overwhelming, but we'll see. I'll see how I get on.
You're making me think of how our computer changes, whatever type of computer we have. When we first buy it, there's a beautiful neatness to it, there's nothing on there. And part of the great feeling of a new laptop or computer is that freshness and that sudden kind of clarity that we feel we have from not having a confused computer full of things that we don't know where they are and whatever else. So I can see how this makes that clarity come into your mind from how it operates those rules. How does Hazel work with something like Dropbox, where you might have things organised in a certain way for the last 3 years, and maybe they're not that neat? How would it work in a system like that, which exists on your hard disk? But
you can use it on Dropbox as well, because I have used it on Dropbox. So you add the folders that you want to organise, and then you set up rules for each different folder, basically.
Okay.
So I've been playing around with Dropbox. I've not tried Google Drive yet. I'm guessing it'll work the same way. But yeah, they're again, Dropbox, Google Drive, two folders that are a bit of a mess on my computer. Very
interesting. So where can we find Hazel?
Well, it's not obvious actually, because the website where you download it is actually called noodlesoft.com.
There we go. So this is one of many apps or software packages they offer.
I'm guessing so, but this is the only one that they show on that website. So you go to noodlesoft.com and Hazel is the only thing that comes up. I can't see anything else on there. So
let's ask them once the podcast goes live.
Yeah,
we can inquire.
Yeah, we will.
Great stuff. So what's the cost, Joe, for Hazel?
Okay, so obviously you get a free trial for 2 weeks. They've just brought out Hazel 4, and one license is $32 for the year, I'm guessing. You can also get a family pack, which gives you license up to 5 members, and that's $49.
Very good. Sounds excellent. If you're someone who loves tidiness and neatness like you do, it's definitely attractive.
Exactly.
Great stuff. Well, I'm going to do my confusing app first. I've realised that the last couple of podcasts I brought something in that goes into some web marketing concept of some kind, and I have to explain that first before the app. So here we go. I'm going to talk about Zapier, which is one that we've covered before, but a particular rise of Zaps on Zapier that I think are very interesting. So, we've also discussed a couple of times Facebook lead ads. So let's just say what they are. A Facebook lead ad is an ad that we can show on Facebook to a targeted audience that allows people to subscribe to our company, our newsletter, whatever it may be, very quickly and easily. So when we see these ads, they have a sign up button on the bottom. And when we click on that button, a little form pops up that is auto-populated with a name and email that we've used to sign up to Facebook with. So we just click on submit. So we don't go to a landing page. It all happens in Facebook, and we're signed up from that point. As the advertiser, what we then have to do is download our leads and do whatever we want to do with them. However, there is a rising number of Zaps on Zapier which automate people registering from the Facebook lead ad with the mailing list of your choice on quite a few platforms. So the big one would be MailChimp. So we can connect our Facebook lead ad with MailChimp via a Zap, and people who sign up will automatically go to the list of our choice. There's also MailerLite, which we've been using recently. That's
cool.
one of the ones there.
Yeah.
ActiveCampaign, and pretty much any of the well-known email platforms now have a Zap that connects the lead ad with the mailing list.
Oh, that's brilliant.
It's good. It's good. And I think that what we've discovered, as you've seen, is that Facebook lead ads are really, really high in conversion from people clicking on that button and signing up, because it is so easy.
It's easy, yeah.
So being able to connect that with a mailing list and automation afterwards, so sending people a number of messages that we've pre-written, is a really powerful marketing tactic. Even more so if we write a special list of autoresponders for people that we know have signed up from Facebook. So
Yeah.
I'm encouraging people to go to Zapier, have a look at those apps, and think of the concept of marketing to an audience of your desire on Facebook, and having that audience sign up, connect to a mailing list, and receive very well written, because everyone that listens to our podcast is a great writer, emails to that audience from your connection with Facebook and your mailing list. Very, very powerful marketing tactic. And when we compare the cost of Zapier, which, these Zaps are premium features, but the first level of account is $13.75 a month. And when we compare that cost with some of the services out there that do the same thing, so connect Facebook lead ads with our mailing list, it's very cost effective. And the other great advantage of Zapier is it's covering more email platform, whereas most of the other alternatives would do MailChimp and maybe one other.
Yeah.
So this gives a lot of freedom.
Yeah, no, I might have to try that. I just suddenly have an idea when you were talking about it, what I could do.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's all kinds of options, There's the webinars that we do. For us, there's the podcast. All of these things would make good Facebook lead ad promotions. Your updated course that you've worked on recently, that would be a great Facebook lead ad.
That's the idea that popped into my head.
There we go. So Zapier is at zapier.com. That's ZAPIER.com. Great service to look at anyway. Quite an alternative to the if this then that you will cover in your webinar.
Yeah, and I'm hopefully going to go into Zapier as well if I have time. But I'm an IFT fan, but I have used Zapier, so.
Interesting, you say Zapier and I say Zapier. You're probably right.
Well, maybe just because we're from different parts of the country.
Great stuff. What's your next app then, Joe?
Okay, well, my next app is an old one that I've been using for a while, and it's to time track my time, basically. So when I'm working for clients, I can click a timer and then click it off when I finish working, and it basically just keeps track of how much time I'm spending, and it's called Harvest. It's very similar to other apps. For example, Toggle, I think you use, and not only does it time track, it also you can also do your invoicing on it as well. I don't do my invoicing on it because I'm in France, and that doesn't work. You can also do your expense tracking. You can take photos of receipts. Unfortunately, you can't stop a dog from barking.
I was just going to say your dog likes this app.
So yeah, and it connects with lots of tools that we've mentioned in the past. Connects with IFT, connects with Zapier, connects with project management tools like Asana that we've mentioned before, Trello, and yeah, it's one of the apps that I kind of ignore on a day-to-day basis because it's just been there forever. But actually, if you use it correctly, there's lots of scope to really make you more productive. You can put in your hourly rate in there, so that when you do your time tracking, it can produce an invoice for you. The only thing I find sometimes is I put the timer on and then I forget that I put the timer on, and then I go off and make a cup of tea and come back and it's flashing at me going, saying, do you want to stop this? You've been inactive for 15 minutes. But that's the good thing. It does notice when you're not doing anything, and it thinks, oh, hang on, she's not turned it off. So it removes that time. So I use the free version because I've managed to find a little loophole in how I can use it for free, because normally you would have different projects set up, different teams and different clients, and doing that you would end up having to pay for it. But I have 2 projects set up on mine, and then I've put my clients as tasks rather than clients. So it means I can select the project, select the task, which is the client, and then I can put a little note in the description to say what I'm doing, which gets around the
Very
pain.
Interesting. I wonder what Harvest are going to think when they hear that on the app.
Yeah, I probably have to pay for it soon. I did pay for it for a little while, but I don't use it. I don't have that many clients and I'm not using the invoicing, and I'm not using it to the best of its ability, which is why I'm not paying for it. And I think it's toggle free, I think.
It is. You can pay for premium features, but yes, it is free.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, why is Harvest your preference over Toggle or any of the others?
I don't know. I just didn't get along with Toggle. I tried it for a while. I've not really tried any others. I have my timing app on my Mac, which runs in the background, which covers everyday things that I can go and check. So I don't really need. I just need something. And Harvest, I don't know. I think when I started using it, it was integrated with my Asana when I was using Asana. So I used it for that reason. And I've just found, when I was just reminding myself of the integrations, it integrates with Slack as well. So I could actually start my timers in Slack.
That's intriguing, isn't it? That'd be good.
Yeah. You could start one for me.
And I'm just thinking, any conversations we have will suddenly be time. Could be a negative for me.
True, it could be.
So, how important do you think time tracking is for what you do?
It used to be more important. It's not so important now, I don't think, because a lot of my clients are on retainers, or I agree a fixed price with them, especially for my author clients with books. So I don't have to track my time too much. But when you are charging by the hour, it's important because even this week I've been a bit lack at timing, specifically for some tasks. So I'm going to have to go onto my background timing app just to double check stuff. So it is important, just otherwise you're not going to get paid what you're meant to be paid.
No, definitely. That's why I think it's really important. I think that businesses are always better if they can charge on value rather than time.
Yeah.
I think that's like an important change to make when you're growing a business. But for you to know whether your pricing is right, time tracking's so useful. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So where can we find Harvest, Jo?
The website address is getharvest.com. Very
nice. There we go. Cool. So my next app is hopefully simpler than what I was talking about last time. And it's actually a website called Capterra. So it's CAPTERRA.com.
Okay.
And this is particularly interesting if you're a software as a service business. And what Capterra is a kind of marketplace where people can rate apps, software, different things that they've used. And they have all kinds of categories, which covers everything from project management, time tracking, the things that we often talk about, right through to more specific categories such as health management, or there are even categories which are really specific to professions. And where I think it's an interesting kind of website from a marketing point of view is that when people land on that site and they find it through a Google search, they are already what we might call an engaged visitor. They're looking for something to help them do something. And what Capterra does is it lists many options for them to look through right there on one page. Instead of them having to compare one specific company with another, Capterra is aiming to have everything there so they can make a choice and sign up for a free trial. That's really the aim of the site.
Okay.
As a company, as a software as a service company, you can pay to have a listing on that site that moves you higher up the list of packages in your realm. So what that means is you can target really engaged traffic and entice them to have a trial on your software in a way that usually works out much cheaper than doing it yourself on AdWords. So Capterra themselves do a lot of AdWords promotion, so they appear for things like best project management application, best project management software. And so they're kind of doing a lot of the work that you would want to do anyway.
Yeah.
And we found with some of the software companies we've been working with recently, it's a great way to push free trials. So I would say if you are a software company, look at Capterra. It's a really, really good platform in the sense that they are doing a lot of the work for you, pulling people to their site to then view your app and list its features in comparison to other people. So the people that come through there have been qualified further before they take out a trial with your software.
It's funny because I've seen Capterra quite a lot now online when I'm Googling.
Yeah.
It comes up a lot, and it's only recently. I mean, it's probably because I've been working in there as well that they're targeting me. But I've noticed it a lot more, and it's like it looks good. It's reviewing all the different project management apps and stuff that we've spoken about in the past.
Definitely, yeah. Sometimes I would look there to find something intriguing to try for our podcast. It's become that useful in another way. Yeah. For us in a sense. But I think that kind of site will grow. I think it started in software, and in some ways TripAdvisor is an equivalent for travel.
Yeah.
So that growth of platforms which offer us reviews and more insights and very, very specific news to what we're trying to achieve, I believe will grow. And we'll see the opportunities for advertising move from AdWords to sites like that. And it doesn't affect AdWords. That's really the big thing from Google's point of view, because Capterra is paying, they must be paying a lot to advertise on AdWords that intensely.
Yeah.
And so, people are really reselling the presence that Google can bring and Facebook and other platforms too.
Ooh.
There we go. So, Joe, what's your app of the month?
My app would be Hazel.
I thought you might say that.
And when I get time, I'm gonna set up lots of cool rules.
There we go. But because I know how much pleasure that app is bringing you, I'm going to agree with you.
And you have a Mac as well, so you could try it out for your.
I do, yeah. I'll same again. When I get the time, I'll give it a go. But yeah, great stuff. Okay, so what are you going to do the rest of the day?
I'm going to get this podcast onto Twitter on our eShop.
Cool. Yeah, I better go and mix it. Great stuff. Well, thank you again for another wonderful podcast.
Okay.
And we shall chat soon.
Yeah, chat soon.
My name is Phil Byrne, and I'd like to thank you so much for listening today. I hope you got something really good to take away from this week's episode for you or your business. And you know what? I'd like to give you something more. In fact, I'd like to give you a whole free web marketing pack full of all my latest and best ideas on how you can take your business forward positively online. Download your pack at positivesparks.co.uk/pack, and most of all, guys, look forward to seeing you again next week.